Well, it's f of x equals like
f of x, y
something.
equals that. So they're going to ask us to find the x-intercepts. How do I find the x-intercepts when I have a quadratic equation in standard form? Well, there's three ways that you could do it. Sometimes. There might only be two. The first way is by factoring, but that's only if it works. Does factoring work? Can I factor this? No, I can't. So factoring doesn't work. So factoring's out. The other way is by the quadratic formula, which I can do, but it's a little messy because remember, it's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I can do that. It's not really all that bad. I'll show you. I'll do it both ways. But it's actually easier to complete the square when your leading coefficient is 1 and b is even. So I'm going to do it this way first. And in fact, I'll do completing the square in red. So that's going to be in red. Complete the square. Alright, so let's complete the square. I'm going to take x squared plus 12x minus 6. Remember, I'm setting this equal to 0. Right? And now I'm going to try to solve this. I can't get rid of the 6 and try to divide the 12 because I have an x squared and an x. That's just not legal. That's just not how you solve it. It's not a linear equation. I've got two x terms and they're not the same term. So completing the square would take half of 12, which is 6, and square it, and add that there, and then also subtract it. So see what I'm doing? This is completing the square, and now this thing does factor into a perfect square. X plus 6 squared, and these are just negative 42. Negative 6 minus 36, and now I have an equation that now I only have one x. I can isolate it. I can add 42, take the square root, don't forget the plus or minus sign, and subtract 6. See how easy that was? There's your answer. Simplify that and you're done. That to me is the easiest way to do this problem. However, you can do it this way, and let's go ahead and do it that way right now. I'll show you how that can be done. We'll do this in blue. So let's use the quadratic formula right there. So negative b is negative 12 plus or minus the square root of b squared. Look how big of a mess this is. What's b squared? 12 squared is 144 minus 4ac. So that's minus 4 times 1 times negative 6, which is plus 24, right? All over 2a. Now that wasn't too bad, but there's a lot of places you could make silly mistakes. Adding, subtracting, multiplying, simplifying. So let's continue doing this. Negative 12 plus or minus the square root of, this is 168. Guess what this is going to equal? It's going to equal that once you simplify this. Would you rather mess with simplifying that big nasty radical, or just do this thing and get that answer and be done with it? I would rather do this thing and get that answer and be done with it, personally. Because this one, there's just a lot of places you can make mistakes. But these two are the same answer. That's how you solve.